Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is season 10 of Heartland, episode 15, Forest for the Trees. Amy begins to have nightmares about Ty, leaving her with the feeling that all is not well. Georgie goes on a date with Clay's cousin. Okay, so obviously it isn't taking Georgie long to move on. If she really was hurting all that much, she would think she wouldn't want to date for a while. Kind of like this whole same thing with Lou, like she seemed to move on from the divorce awfully fast. Granted, of course, they separated and she had time to kind of adjust and move on, but still, I would think she wouldn't want to jump back in the saddle right away. I would think that she would want to have some time and not just dive into things with Mitch. And then the first part, it says Amy begins to have nightmares about Ty, leaving her with the feeling that all is not well. So she's going to have nightmares, obviously, about him being in Mongolia and something happening. So kind of like, is it a premonition? Which, when this episode finishes, there's only 3 left for the season. So very real possibility something could have happened. As I said, I don't think we're going to see him making it back until the season finale, until episode 18. I'd love it if he'd make it back by like episode 17 and then have all of episode 18, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be one of those dramatic things where he's going to show up like right at the end, because that's kind of typical of how television works. But these guys do surprise me sometimes. So I'm hoping that it's just her having these dreams and that nothing comes of it. But she does have good instincts and a good premonition. So if she is getting the feeling that all is not well, she may be correct. Let's get started. So we're going to start off with the dream. She had that dream about Spartan. She's going to follow up on that. I like how it's kind of, the way they have it set for it being a dream, they can tell it's a dream right away. So in this dream, he's like walking away, That's not really a nightmare, but.
That's a great idea. Will you ask her?
Always about Ashford University in the online, and there would be a lot of online students who, a lot of them had kids that were high school, college, or whatever, and they were going back to school. They were getting their degrees. Some people take some time off and go later. Some want to go later, and I'm thinking that's what she could do. She could go in a few years. Amy's right. Life happens, and she says there are times that she regrets, but you know what? Wait a few years with the baby and then go. Do it online. When you can log into your classes at night or when the kid is in school. You can make it work. People do. Like I said, we would have the online students, and some would talk about how they would be doing their homework next to their kid. Their kid would be doing their homework, they'd be doing theirs. Make it work. If you're committed enough to doing it, you can make it work. And you see commercials all the time for people who go back to school and get their degree. There's one where some guy is, holding his son saying, I did this for you, buddy, to have that better life. So, granted, yeah, life happens, but she also said a degree isn't everything, and she's right about that. And to be honest, I find, the older I get, that a degree is useless, unless you have a specific trade, like if you want to be a plumber or a doctor or something, then it's worth it. Otherwise, a degree is pretty much useless. So if you're on the fence about it, I would seriously consider not going. It also makes me think about the show Walker, which, if you have not checked out my reactions, please go to the Walker folder if you're watching this on YouTube and click on my Walker reactions. By the time this airs, seasons 2 and probably 3 should be up, so check them out. Maybe even season 4, depending on where we are when this posts. But one of the characters named Stella, Cordell Walker's daughter, decided that she wasn't going to go to college, at least take a year off. And of course, she's kind of been finding her way and kind of going through the motions and everything. But she decided at least that she didn't want to go to college right away. And I thought, that's great, you know. The way it works in society is that you graduate from high school and you're supposed to either go in the military or go to college. But really, it shouldn't be that way. I think that when you're younger, and of course this is someone looking back and reflecting, I went to college right away, and I think I would have anyways. But looking back, I don't know, there's a part of me that's thinking maybe it would have been better to have just taken a year or two and just kind of figured things out. Maybe found a way to do some traveling and visit a couple places, and then be like, you know what? Now I want to do it. And if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. Like I said, degrees are pretty much useless nowadays. So, you know, maybe Jade should take the time off and then look at possibly going later. Amy could always go later.
It was polishing, not even halfway done yet.
At least they're getting the tech.
Oh boy.
Lacey, but also because I promised to get her back safe and sound. I'm just talking.
I like how he's like,
very
no, I'm related
short,
to Casey.
safe test drive.
He does have a point. The tech will be here when you get back.
It's only an
Okay, are you
excuse.
sure?
Cleaning the tech.
Hey, bro.
You can't track him from here.
Oh.
I meant on account of these trees.
I put you guys right here. I'll go now. Good boy.
You've been able to trust her in the past.
That's it.
Baby.
Not gonna hurt you.
Amy and Ghost were having a moment there, but I hate seeing him injured. Poor baby. I wonder what happened. I hope he'll be okay. I mean, now that he's tranked, they can get him to the clinic and they can find out what's going on and hopefully heal him. That was one thing that always bugged me with him, you know, when he was there at Heartland, is that he had that wound there. And to me, it never looked like they really cleaned it up. I'm sure they did, but I just felt like it stayed on him for way too long. And I know obviously that's a bit of an omen that we're seeing that she saw a ghost and now she's seeing Ghost bloody, so that he's injured. But I do like that she and Ghost were still having that moment. And as I said, Ghost is not always a bad omen. Yeah, we saw him a couple times, you know. Ty saw him when he passed out when he was sick, but then when he woke up, woke up from his sickness and was getting better, he saw a ghost again, and that's when the two of them confessed really that they had feelings for each other and became a couple. So as I'm saying, Ghost is not always a bad omen. And I think we saw Ghost again. I'm pretty sure we did. But obviously, you know, they're trying to get us worried about Ty right now because the baby is coming. Poor baby.
That boy, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah. Good boy. And I like that they are seeing Ghost, because there have been a few times when they haven't seen Ghost, when it's only been
I
Ty.
am no good for this.
Well, somebody has to talk some sense in you.
I'm not going on the circuit. So you can spare me the lecture, okay?
Really?
Yep. Turns out.
Most likely the sedative just wore off. And I was thinking, you know, he's going to wake up and he's going to think, man, I feel different, because, you know, he's got the sutures and everything. I've said this before. I think animals know when we're trying to help them. You know? Because we make it that, you know, we're not going to harm them, that we do want to help. And yeah, I think they know. I think somehow instinct kicks in and tells them, I can trust this being, this human, or this, you know, or whatever, you know, whatever they think of us. Something happens and they think, yeah, this person doesn't mean harm. I can trust this person. So Tim is kind of like a father figure to Jade. Which is funny because where the hell's Shane? There hasn't been any word about Shane in seasons. He's never met Georgie. It's like they just completely forgot about him. All day breakfast.
How to Jade?
It turns out it wasn't all Clay. She had some issues with her dad.
So does that mean my nephew might actually be out of the doghouse?
Nothing for you over here.
That's cute. So,
And how cool we look in these awesome costumes.
that's pretty cool.
You look ridiculous.
I know that horse has a special meaning to you. I just hope you can find
That's
him
right.
with
She
some
did
rest.
see him when he had the motorcycle
Get some
accident.
exercise, and then I promise.
There's Ghost. He's still in here. So the next episode, yeah, it looks like Ty collapses. So that's not going to be good. What is it, like flu or something? I mean, I'll find out next time. But Ghost didn't look much better, but that's probably the blood that had dried from the sutures, which you would think they would have kind of cleaned him up a little bit, you know, like after she sewed him up and everything, you think that they would have like taken a rag and kind of cleaned him a bit so that he didn't look as bloody. So, I mean, the good thing is he's still around and he's still alive. But yeah, Ghost does, of course, have a little bit of a meaning. And, you know, when we saw the motorcycle part, that does make sense. I remember she did see Ghost then. So Ghost and Ty have a connection. So pretty much whenever she sees Ghost, it has something to do with Ty. And Bob said another dizzy spell. So something, yeah, is going on. It says Ty begins to feel dizzy and collapses. So some sort of flu, maybe, is what I hope. You know, I'm guessing that, yeah, that he has some sort of sickness, which obviously he'll be okay, because like I said, he'll be there for the birth of the baby. And then looks like Georgie might give things another go with Adam. Although she did like that kiss with the other guy. But at the same time, that makes me think of Lou and how she did enjoy Caleb's kiss, even though nothing came of it. You know? And I like what, you know, what Cassandra was saying about a wedding and talked Caleb out of a Western themed wedding. So I'm worried about Ty, but unfortunately I have to wait a few days to find out what happens. But we know it'll be okay because he's going to be there for the birth of his baby. You know, I'm not too worried. Thank you for joining me for this reaction. Please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the notification bell to be alerted of future reacts. I mentioned earlier about Walker. So check out my Walker videos if you can, because it is a good show. I've said this before. I've thought that Heartland and Walker should have a crossover since they're both westerns and stuff. That would make an interesting crossover. So maybe they should do something like that. Heartland and Walker crossover. And throw Yellowstone in there too. You can make it like a 3-show event or something, throw that in as well. Shout out to my editor. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. You can check her link in the description below. If you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee, I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate any monetary donations, although I know money is tight for people right now. If you do, I will give you a shout out in a future video, and I will thank you in advance for any generosity you might be able to bestow. But if you can't, that is perfectly fine. I am happy that you're here watching Heartland with me. I have said this before, I love this show, and I'm excited to continue on this journey and find out what happens to Ty in the next episode, which of course we know he will be okay. But I'm glad that you are here. I hope you are enjoying the reactions. Hit the like button if you are, and I will see you next time. I hope you all have a great day and a great week, a great month, a great year. I'll see you in the next video.